Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jack, coach of the Wenatchee Wildcats, bringing our Week 2 battle against the Donphans. One second, let me just pull up my damage calc right here. So my throat is better, so we are finally doing a nice little live comm here. Again, sorry I didn't get that last week, so hold on. Let's just import. There we go. Alright, so that's ready to go. So let's get back over here. So he does not bring Altaria. And Beedrill looks absolutely insane in this matchup. Like, actually insane. The only thing that Beedrill doesn't like is Scarf Kartana. And I mean, I have a Rotom and a Gliscor and an Empoleon to an extent to take hits from that, so I'm not worried about Cortana at all. So he doesn't bring Sand, he doesn't bring Tyranitar or Excadrill. Like I've been talking up Zarude a lot. So like I'm not surprised he didn't bring like Tyranitar and Excadrill just because it's just food for Zarude. But I mean Zarude still does have a field day. Like his only switch into Darkest Lariat is Alchemy, which doesn't want to take a Power Whip. And I suppose, like, there's also, I guess, that thing right there, the Cortana. But I see no reason not to start off with Beedrill. Because it does outspeed his Chandelure if it is Scarf, so the only thing that Beedrill lead doesn't get me is if he leads Scarf Kartana, but I can just hard switch into Rotom and we can figure that out. So I'm going to start off with Beedrill here. He does lead off with Deoxys. I'm not going to kill because this thing is a freaking monster. But let's see what we do here against Deoxys. Deoxys defense. Let's go spikes. Let's assume max defense. So X-Scissor is a 70% chance to do a KO after leftovers, but it will not be killing. And I don't want to stay in here. I don't even know what this thing really does. What's its? It has 70 offense. I don't know like what kind of like coverage moves it gets. It is still Deoxys, so it gets the same kind of coverage moves. But I don't see why I don't just U-turn out into Zarude here. Which I think is what I'm going to do. So he does go into Gastrodon, so I just get a nice U-turn here. That does 57%. Good lord. Physically defensive U-turn. Oh my lord. Is that like no HP, no defense? Let's go and yeah, so that was a max roll, no HP, no defense. So that's great to know. So if he's no HP, no defense, what does Greninja do? Because I would love to get off Battle Bond here. Let's do Dark Pulse. And we are choice specs. That's going to do... Well, Gastrodon is Storm Drain, so I don't know why it's showing Hydro Pump. Oh, because this is Sticky Hold for some reason. But Dark Pulse is going to do 52%. And he can go out to Alchemy, but I mean, I always have Empoleon as a switch into Alchemy, and I can get rocks there. So I'll go out into Greninja. And maybe he'll feed us this Gastrodon and we can get our Battle Bond up. So he goes for the Protect, just scouting for us. Getting leftovers recovery. So at this point, Dark Pulse has a chance to not kill. But low chance. Like I did have to get an absolute min roll. But like he knows what I'm likely locked into. So he's probably going out into alchemy. But again, I don't really worry about that thing at all. Empoleon is always a switch in. That thing can do nothing to me, and I get rocks up for free. So I don't see, and he's just, oh, that's a, what? So that's not Assault Vest. Alright, hold on. So let's get our setup here. Michigan J, but you have 103 base attack. Dark Pulse is doing 53 to 63%. But what is this thing? Because it took so much from... Is this like just max special defense, max special attack? Because it did not have any HP investment for U-turn to do that much. Or was that a crit and I just missed it? No. So he's obviously going to protect again. And then... Wait, so Dark Pulse... If he's calm... Dark Pulse did 31%. It's not Assault Vest. We can see that. I'm so confused. How did U-turn do so much and Dark Pulse does so little? Because 0 HP, max special 252 special attack, and calm nature, Dark Pulse does a minimum of 37%. So max HP, max special defense, Dark Pulse does a minimum of 31.9%. But then U-turn doesn't do that much from Beedrill. U-turn does a maximum of 48%. I'm so confused. Oh, gosh dang it, that's why. That's why its adaptability isn't on here. So there we go. Okay, so it is max HP, max special defense. Gosh, I hate... Yeah, alright. Whew. That mystery is solved. So he's going to protect here. He has to protect because he saw... But let's see here. So let's go back to Greninja. So he's going to be at 36%. We're going to do this and just put in 103. Because that's regular Greninja special attack. So Dark Pulse to... Yeah, so chances are it won't kill after the protect. We have a chance to, but I don't want to rely on that. And I don't want to get scalded, toxic or anything. Alright, I'm just going to go for another protect. So yeah, I was thinking about going out into Zarude to protect the protect. I actually don't really mind the toxic, and he's not offensive, so Scald or Earthquake won't do that much to me. Oh, and we get a crit. So that's unfortunate. The crit sucks. I mean, we did have a chance to kill. So at 36% HP, it's actually slightly less since Smogon rounds up, but at 36%, Dark Pulse has a 37% chance to kill. So that was like a 1 in 3. Obviously, with the crit, we obviously kill. But without the crit, I still had a 1 in 3 chance. So he just hard brought out Cortana. So that screams it's Scarfed. Yeah, so I always go on to Rotom here. And he gets a crit of his own. So there you go. He's not going to stay in here. I'm going to go for a Pain Split. What does this thing want to do to me? I don't know. I'm going to go for a Volt Switch. I won't let it... Alright, so what does that do? I want to figure out what kind of Chandelure this is. So first of all, Kartana, let's just confirm he's like max Choice Scarf. So Leaf Blade crit, does 32 to 37. So yep, that looks about right. Jolly max attack. Chandelure, let's go Calm Mind. He went for the Dark Pulse for some reason. I don't know what Dark Pulse gets him over Shadow Ball on my team. But Dark Pulse did 34% exactly. So that could be a high roll modest, or high roll max attack, or if he is modest, it could be a mid roll modest attack. But either way, he is not Specs or obviously not Life Orb. So if he's Scarf, he's locked into Dark Pulse, obviously, so Zarude is a safe switch in, as well as Greninja. And now with Gastrodon gone, he has no switch ins to Hydro Pump. So that's what I'm going to do. Because with Zarude, my thinking here is if I go into Zarude, I can go for a Darkest Lariat, but Alchemy is a pretty safe switch in, and Kartana can take a hit. Whereas Greninja here, like, he has no switch ins. So now we can go Greninja. Let's just see how much Water Shuriken's going to do to Chandelure. That's going to obliterate it. What about to Kartana? That's going to a KO. What about Alchemy? Not quite. But like I said, for Alchemy, I always have Empoleon. So I'm just going to go for a Water Shuriken. There's Alchemy. That does... There's no leftovers. No leftovers on Alchemy, but we do 48%, which looks to be physically defensive for the Zarude. But I always go out into Empoleon here. So no leftovers, so I wonder what he's holding. Giga Drain, interesting. Okay, so it's Life Orb. Alright, cool. He does naturally outspeed me, and I have no speed investment, I'm fairly certain. But I can also go out into Rotom here. It also can't really touch Rotom. But he also wants to keep this thing healthy, so I'm just going to go for Stealth Rock. He needs to keep this thing healthy, otherwise he has no switch-ins to either Greninja or Zarude, and... Oh my goodness, this boy has Metronome. Alright, so he has Metronome, I guess, and goes for Poison Gas. I have no reason not to go for a Toxic here. He can go out into Kartana, I suppose, but he's just going to go for another Giga Drain. And I mean, Empoleon here was here for the Altaria. But now that Altaria's gone, it's really only here for the Alchemy, so I'm totally fine just staying in and sacking it. It would be nice to have it for the Chandelure as well, because I am Spadef. Actually, no, I am Fizdef, actually. So even Chandelure is going to probably do a good chunk to it. But I'm just going to go for a Scald. Oh my goodness, Defense Curl. So he's going to go for another Giga Drain here. But like I said, there's no reason I don't stay in and just go for a Scald. This mad lag bringing metronome. So I absolutely toxic this thing. As he goes for an agility Deoxys defense. What is this guy doing? So at +2, if he's max 8 speed, he's definitely outspeeding my my Beedrill. But I mean, I have Water Shuriken in the back burner, so I'm fine with stalling this thing out. This thing, unless he sets up a Nasty Plot or a Sword Stance, he's not about to kill the Empoleon, so I can just go for a Scald here. So he does go for Nasty Plot. So this is telling me he is offensive, obviously, so he probably has minimal defensive investment. So let's see what range he needs to be at for Water Shuriken. Water Shuriken, if he is min HP, does a minimum 46%, so it does look like after this next Toxic Tick, he should be in range. So he has Agility, Nasty Plot, Psychic Move. What does this thing get? I don't even know. I literally didn't even look up Deoxys, what it could bring, because, I mean, I have a Mega Beedrill. Why did he bring this thing? I don't know why I came here. Smogon's just better for looking up moves. What kind of special attacks do you get? Charge Beam, Dark Pulse, Energy Ball, Flash Cannon. Okay, so it has a pretty wide range of moves. Ice Beam, Psychic, Shadow Ball. Alright, so I'm guessing Psychic and maybe... What does Psychic not kill? Zarude and Greninja. So probably Ice Beam, maybe? Which I resist both. And if he does have the Thunderbolt, then... Alright, so he does have Thunderbolt. So he's at 43%. Alright, so he's not quite at range for Water Shuriken. So he has Thunderbolt and Psychic. Unless he's Bolt Beam. Actually, he might be Bolt Beam, otherwise Zarude tanks him. I don't want to give Zarude up yet, because I wanted to claim another kill, just because he's on the kill leaderboard. So who's the least valuable right now? It might be Gliscor. Or Rotom. Yeah, I need Rotom around, because it is still at a range where it can take one hit from Kartana. And Gliscor could take hits from Kartana, but I'm not offensive and it's not really going to do much back to Kartana. So I think I have to sack Gliscor here. And I'm going to Roost just in case I live. I don't even know how much this is going to do. Signal Beam? Oh my lord, yeah, I'm hella going to live. Okay. So yeah, he doesn't have Psychic, so I'm just going to stall this thing out. Yeah, no point not going for a Roost. Okay, so he goes to Donphan. I'm going to taunt it. So he goes for the Rapid Spin, and I'm just going to Toxic now. We don't see lefties on it. And I also have Water Shuriken still, so if this thing is a weird Rapid Spin sweet stat, then, I mean, Greninja's still a thing. So that should be good. There's the Ice Shard. That does absolutely nothing to me. And no reason not to go for an EQ here. And here we Roost. This thing is a beast. I'm so glad I picked this thing up. Holy crap. I mean, it is only an Ice Shard from a Donphan, so I'm just going to Roost again. No reason to get lower than we need to be. And the next Toxic Tick will kill, so again, I'm just going to Roost. Okay, he goes for the Play Rough, that's fine. And here's the Chandelure. So we know that Gliscor pretty much walls the Deoxys now, but Deoxys is pretty much dead anyways. At the range it's at, it doesn't have any recover. It doesn't have recover. And if it doesn't set up, it's not a threat at all. So I don't have to worry about Deoxys at all. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go for an Earthquake. 40%. That, yeah, we've already done the calc, so that seems about right. So it unfortunately looks like Zarude isn't going to get a kill, which makes me sad. Let's go for a Roost, see what this thing does. He goes for the Leaf Blade, gets another crit. Holy cow, this guy's critting left and right. I'm just gonna go for Earthquakes. Let him knock me out. I want to see if I can get a kill with Zarude. Alright, that range, close combat should knock him out. Actually he's at +1. So, yeah, no reason. I really want to get a kill with Zarude, though, but I don't want to play the risky game. He's definitely choice locked. He's absolutely choice locked. So, Zarude versus Kartana. Scarf, +1. Leaf Blade does a maximum of 44%. Darkest Lariat does a minimum of 66%. If he is non-Scarf and Sacred Sword, then he can kill, but... Alright. Darkest Lariat. Yep, so there's the Leaf Blade and we win. This ain't living, and now we kill Deoxys. Yeah, so he did not bring the team I expected. I expected at least Mega Altaria. Yeah, so, like, he really had no answers to Zarude at all. It didn't do that much this game just because I didn't have a whole lot of opportunities to bring it in safely because I didn't want to risk Scald Burns. I didn't want to risk Chandelure going for fire moves. Yeah, so, like, I didn't have enough plays to bring it in safely for it to do work, but if I had, he had no answers to it. I mean, his only dark resist was Alchemy, which gets absolutely bopped by Power Whip. So yeah, I was definitely expecting Altaria there just because it's really his only switch into it was the only switch into Zarude if it got in safely. Metronome Alchemy was definitely interesting. Unfortunately, didn't pay off going for Poison Cloud and then Defense Curl, but it was nice. It was cute. I was so confused with that Gastrodon though. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. That's going to be the match for this week, and I shall see you next time. Adios.